What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I guess I should actually probably just say welcome to the channel as if for the very first time, because it's been like almost 2 years I think since I've actually put out a video on this channel. So welcome to the channel anyway. Like I said, it's been a super long time, and the reason I'm doing this video today is because I had a challenge with one of my buddies, Goofball Jones. He's a Twitch streamer. If you want to check him out on Twitch, I will leave a link in the description below. So he and one of our other friends mentioned to me that they wanted me to make another YouTube video on this channel. So I told him that if he streamed for 5 days in a row, because it had been a bit since he streamed, so if he streamed for 5 days in a row, I would make another YouTube video, even though I feel making a YouTube video, full edit and everything, is a lot more work than live streaming, but I don't want to get into a debate about that. So anyway, here I am today. If this is something that you guys like and I get some positive feedback, I'll consider doing another video depending on how things go. In this video, I'm just going to give a basic rundown of my entire character. I'm going to show you what gear I have, what level I'm at, and I'm going to give you some idea of what I'm going to be working towards in the near future in the game. So let's jump into it. Alright guys, so here's my character in all of his glory. I'm going with the all white. That's something I've stuck with. This is the trial shader, Honor of the Nine, I think it's called. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to show you the gear I have right now. I have not been power leveling this character. I haven't done any raiding since when Curse of Osiris first came out. Me and Goofball jumped into one raid encounter and we couldn't even finish it because we had to go because something came up, and I haven't done anything since on any of my characters. In fact, I just finished getting my Warlock through all the story for Curse of Osiris and the latest DLC, and I haven't done any of it with my Titan, so it's kind of going to be a grind, but at least this is a positive situation where it's actually a good thing Bungie didn't give us as much story as they said they were going to. So anyway, I have not been power leveling. I'm 358, as you can see, halfway to 359. I need a couple more pieces of high level loot before I will hit that 360 landmark. So I'm going to run through my gear, just start at the beginning. So this auto rifle, foregone conclusion, it's a high rate of fire. It's not as high rate of fire as some of the auto rifles in Destiny 1, but it does feel a lot like some of the guns from Destiny 1, and I like that because I felt auto rifles were really comfortable in that game. So it's a pretty high rate of fire. I did not like it at first because it's a bit hard to control. It has a ton of recoil. As you can see, the stability is pretty low. It just sort of sprays all over the place, so I wasn't really a big fan of it at first, but I started using it more and more because it was my highest primary, and I kind of ended up falling in love with it because I found myself winning a lot more gunfights than I would expect it to. So like I said, it reminds me a lot of some of the auto rifles from Destiny 1 that had a faster fire rate. Next up here I have my Pleiades Corrector, which I'm not really going to talk about this much because you probably already know everything there is to know about this gun. It came out during faction rallies and everybody wanted to get it. Everybody was working on opening packages and trying to get this for the future war cult. So I was lucky enough to grab one the second time around when faction rallies came out. And it's good, it's still good, it's consistent, it's a really stable platform. It's really easy to use, and that's why I like it for both PvE and PvP. But I want to show you my favorite secondary weapon right now, which by far is right here, the Requiem 45. As you can see, I have it masterworked, which increases my reload speed, but I've had this for I've probably used it for 5 hours total playtime in the Crucible, and I already have 506 enemies defeated with this gun alone. So 100 enemies an hour, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's really, really stable, and it fires incredibly fast, which is its big perk here because it does deal quite a bit of damage actually, especially if you're hitting those headshots. And as you can see, I did get it as a masterwork, which I am quite happy about. For my heavy, I have pretty much everything there is. You know, I have cluster bomb rockets, sticky grenade launchers, rare swords, merciless, perfect paradox, which I love, but not as much for Crucible. I'd rather go with something like this, which has a lot higher range. And of course I have Sleeper Simulant, which I love. I loved it in D1, I love it in D2. It's great, it's fantastic. I love the changes they made to it, and I like the quest to get it too. It was sort of difficult, but not impossible, and I like that. But right now I'm running Darcy, which might be a questionable decision to some of you, because when the game first came out, this gun was terrible. Its intrinsic perk, Personal Assistant, means aim at an enemy to view its health and other critical information in the scope, which is sort of cool, and I'll give Darcy credit. It does fill a niche that no other item in this game does. To be able to scope in on something and see its health and its crit points and things like that is sort of cool, and it can be useful the first time you ever do a raid or a strike encounter or something like that, to be able to get a good idea of what you're trying to do to defeat the boss, what the best boss defeating strategy is. It's kind of useful for that, but as an exotic, I don't really think it's worth filling that slot in comparison to a lot of other things. And now it has short action stock, which it makes it really, really stable, and then it also has this perk, Target Acquired, which is when Personal Assistant is active, aka when you're aiming with the scope. This weapon has better target acquisition and deals significantly more precision damage. Now, that means if you're scoping in, you can get that critical information about the boss, but you can also keep locked on to those crit spots a lot easier, and you're doing a ton of critical damage. This is actually the highest DPS weapon in the game right now. It's even a little bit higher than Sleeper Simulant, and it has a lot more rounds in the magazine, which is one of Sleeper Simulant's Destiny 2 downfalls, that it only has 2. This has 7, and even though it's an easy one-shot headshot because of this perk, doing a lot of precision damage, it's still technically classified as a high rate of fire weapon because of its rounds per minute, which means in the Crucible you get 9 rounds with it instead of 4 or 5 like some other snipers. So this is definitely a good pickup, and I do actually use it in Crucible, and I get around 3 kills a game with it, although my playstyle definitely does not revolve around picking up heavy ammo. Also, really quick, I wanted to show you, I of course have the exotic ornament for Darcy, mind of its own. I also have the Darcy Catalyst, which I picked up randomly while leveling up my Warlock. I was just running through some story missions from Curse of Osiris, and it just happened to show up, so I was happy with that. I have a big tip for anybody trying to work through the Masterwork upgrade for this. Don't do PvE. PvE seems like the easier option for this, but it is not. After doing about 10 heroic strikes and using this weapon on normal ads to get headshots, in all 10 of those strikes I had 1% done. After that, I tried it in the Crucible. In one game I got 3 headshot kills, and it went from 1% to 14%, and now you can see I'm at 82% after using it in a few more Crucible matches, so definitely go with that if you're trying to level this weapon's masterwork. I'm not really going to show you my armor much because there's not a whole lot to talk about. It's just some Iron Banner armor, and then of course Festival armor as well. As you can see, I'm running Resilience, which on a hunter is sort of questionable sometimes. It helps me win a lot more gunfights, and I'm not really worried about mobility because I'm running Night Stalker, which means I can always dodge, and my dodge recharges like every 10 seconds, so I can dodge all the time. And speaking of dodging, I am right now running the Worm Husk Crown, which is an exotic helmet that you can get automatically if you choose it through the story missions in this latest DLC. Now, the things that I really like about it is, of course, it has reinforcement mod, which is for resilience, which is what I like to run. And I have impact absorption on here as well, which increases your defense. And then it has this intrinsic perk called Burning Soul, which means dodging begins health regeneration, small bump to health while dodging. Essentially, that means as soon as you go to roll, you regen your health up in like 2 seconds. It goes from nothing to almost full immediately, pretty much. Now, if you do take any damage during that period of time, it will stop your health regen, but for the most part, it's pretty good. And since I'm running Night Stalker, I'm invisible also when I dodge, so dodging is pretty much a get out of jail free card for me. So anyway, guys, that is my loot. I'm running an exotic shell, exotic sparrow, which I have all of them. Some of them are on my Warlock. I have all of the exotic ships right now. Again, some of them are on my Warlock, but I really like the way that this ship looks. I've been saying since day one of Destiny 2 that we need to be able to use this ship. This is the classic Vanguard troop carrier ship, and I've really wanted to be able to use it. So anyway, guys, that is my gear. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is a certain weapon in this game that I think is going to change the way this game is played. It's a weapon that I haven't seen anyone using in Crucible yet, but I know that it's coming because people are grinding towards it. And I think once it does come, it's going to be a big shift in the way that this game plays in PvP, but I don't think it's going to last very long because I think it's probably going to be nerfed. That gun, of course, is Redrick's Claymore. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here it is. It's a pulse rifle that you can get as a reward from doing Crucible challenges. Now, it's a pulse rifle very similar to a lot of pulse rifles from Destiny 1, but the thing about this, if you look over here, its intrinsic perk is high impact frame, which means slow firing, high damage. Now that high damage is the important part here because this gun has Outlaw, which means precision kills greatly increase your reload time. And then it has another perk called Desperado, which means reloading while Outlaw is active increases your rate of fire. So if you get a precision kill with this weapon, you then do a lot of damage because high damage, and you have a high rate of fire because of Outlaw and Desperado. So essentially that makes this gun high rate of fire, high damage, which is sort of overpowered. But if you've seen the Instagram and Facebook advertisement that Bungie's been running about this specific weapon, you can see them one-bursting people no problem, and that's exactly what this thing is going to do. If you get a headshot kill with this, and then you move to another target, you can pretty much one burst them no problem. So I'm looking forward to picking it up. It has an ornament too, which you can also get, which is even harder to get, obviously, but it does look pretty cool. I'm looking forward to getting it and using it, but there's going to be a honeymoon phase with it where it's really good, and then it's probably going to get nerfed because it's going to be a little bit too good, I feel. So I'm slowly chipping away at that challenge. It's pretty hard. Basically, it involves getting a certain number of kills, a certain hundreds of kills with all these different weapon types in the Crucible, like 100 with sniper rifle, 300 with hand cannons, or something along those lines. You guys can check that out on Bungie.com if you're wondering, or you can just Google it. There's a lot of YouTube videos actually that help people know what guns to use in order to work towards those goals. So if you are trying to grind that out, this is definitely worth it, especially now before Crucible gets oversaturated with it. In fact, I kind of feel bad for people who are going to join this game late because this gun will probably be nerfed already by the time they get into the game and they won't be able to enjoy it, which is kind of a shame. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for today. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making it. It's nice to get back into this grind of making a video and doing all the recording and editing and everything. So again, if you have enjoyed and you want to see more of this, you want to see me do more videos, whether it's on this game or any of the other games I play on my channel, Star Wars Battlefront, GTA 5, Call of Duty Black Ops, Battlefield. I've refused to play Fortnite, but PUBG, pretty much any game that's out right now, I'll play. If you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments and I'll think about doing another video soon. Again, remember, check out Goofball's stream. I'll put the link in the description. He plays all the same games, and we're going to be playing together a lot in the future. I also have another buddy who streams all the time, so he's actually running a big fundraiser right now for brain cancer awareness for the month of May, for Go Gray in May, so check him out. I'll put his link down there too. Give them a follow. And if you're not already following me, go ahead and click that like button. Maybe subscribe. I don't really mind. I don't really care about that, to be honest. And once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.